Okay, good morning, and thank you for joining us today. We're here at St. Mary's High School to announce the next step we're taking to make our city streets safer no matter how you choose to get around, whether that's walking, biking, driving, or public transit. Before we get started, I want to thank St. Mary's President Mike England for graciously hosting us here today. And I appreciate President Megan Green and Alderman Shane Cohn for their attendance and their partnership on this issue. I also want to recognize the representatives of TrailNet and the Community Mobility Committee for joining us today. Thank you for your advocacy and for standing alongside us on this important announcement. According to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, 20 pedestrians die every day in our country due to dangerous driving. Nationwide, pedestrian fatalities are at a 40-year high. St. Louisans are seeing the tragic impact of this rise up close. Just one block from where we stand now, 2 people died and 3 were injured in a devastating crash at South Grand and Taft. So far in our city this year, 27 people have died in car crashes. 4 pedestrians have died walking on our city streets. Dangerous drivers have injured 134 pedestrians and 34 cyclists to date. Parents like myself want to make sure that children can make it to school safe or fear for their new teenage drivers getting on the road. My son Aiden's 16th birthday is next week, and he already has his driver's permit. As I am teaching him how to drive, we're having the hard conversations about being careful of drivers that speed or run red lights. In spite of this, how can we work together to make our streets and school zones safer for all of our kids, whether right here in Dutchtown or any other school in St. Louis? The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department currently uses a data-driven method to enforce traffic laws, performing more than 200,000 traffic stops so far this year. But we can and must do more to hold reckless drivers accountable and keep our roads safe. My administration is following the 6 E's of traffic enforcement: engineering, enforcement, education, evaluation, equity, and encouragement under our St. Louis Safer Streets initiative, because this is a problem that unites our entire city. Already we're making major strides on the engineering portion. Working alongside the Board of Aldermen, St. Louis dedicated tens of millions in American Rescue Plan funds to repair our sidewalks, deploy safety fixes in the 10 most dangerous crash locations, take traffic studies off the shelf by implementing them, as well as redesign and repave 5 major thoroughfares that touch all sides of our city. Now, we're looking forward to enhancing our traffic enforcement beyond traffic stops. About 330 communities in 22 states are using automated traffic enforcement to hold drivers accountable and make roads safer. These programs lessen the burden on officers while reducing contact between police officers and people driving, saving time and resources. Plus, studies show that these programs are effective. A 2017 Northwestern University study of Chicago's program showed automated traffic enforcement reduced the number of crashes and had a positive spillover effect in surrounding areas, changing driver behavior even outside of corridors with cameras. A 2017 analysis of New York City's program highlighted how only 19% of offenders caught on cameras re-offended again. We're also learning from the way programs in other parts of the country have rolled out with an eye towards equity. Automated traffic enforcement will not be a revenue tool for the city, and any fines will not go towards the city's general revenue fund. Any fine revenue will instead go into improving our infrastructure, educating drivers, or administering the program, not the city's general revenue fund. As it stands, this legislation safeguards privacy rights, ensures due process as outlined by the Missouri Supreme Court, and continuously assesses the program for effectiveness and impact on communities of color. Automated traffic enforcement is one key tool in our traffic safety toolbox, and I'm ready to work alongside the Board of Aldermen to make our streets safer and hold drivers accountable. It is now my pleasure to introduce President Megan Green.
Running red lights and speeding, as we know, are incredibly common throughout the city and are a cause of a horrifying number of car accidents, injuries, and fatalities. In fact, it's one of the biggest complaints that those of us at the Board of Aldermen hear from our constituents on a daily basis. Data suggests that 1 in 4 traffic fatalities happen when at least one of the parties involved was speeding. And we know that with more thoughtful infrastructure and better traffic enforcement, these types of tragedies are preventable. As of last year, 338 communities in 22 states, according to the CDC, use automated red light enforcement. And we used to be one of them. This city used to have automated traffic control system from 2007 until 2013. And during that time, the number of red light violations dropped by 63%. This bill will allow the city to add automated camera enforcement to reduce red light running and speeding. It's safer to enforce laws this way. Automated camera enforcement is used in addition to traditional enforcement methods in locations where traffic stops are impractical or unsafe. And according to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, with equitably implemented and transparent automated enforcement can advance racial equity in traffic enforcement. This bill includes several sections that prevent vendors from using these cameras for surveillance purposes. They are being in place in a way that will protect the privacy rights of folks within our communities. And the idea behind this bill is not to gain revenue. All of the money collected from red light and speeding tickets will be used to fund this program, to fund drivers' education classes, or will be distributed into a new fund called the Neighborhood Traffic Safety Improvement Fund to help with further infrastructure improvements. The Neighborhood Traffic Safety Improvement Fund will disperse funds to be used only for preventative traffic safety projects on non-arterial residential roads, such as crosswalk striping, illuminated stop signs, speed limits, signage, and so on and so forth. These are things that have typically gotten the short stick in terms of funding, since it is done through our ward capital system right now. The idea is to use this funding for projects that will prevent traffic violations in the future and therefore reduce traffic accidents. Earlier this year, the Board of Aldermen, with the partnership of the mayor, allocated $74 million in ARPA dollars via Board Bill 120 to street safety, including traffic calming, roadway safety improvements across major corridors and at major crash sites. We heard from the public then that infrastructure improvements alone were not enough and that we needed stronger enforcement and education. Today, I am proud to say that we are delivering. We know these bills are only the first step, and to reach zero traffic fatalities, we will need to commit as a city to a comprehensive shift in how we approach streets, infrastructure, traffic control, and education. So I'm really excited for this bill to be filed tomorrow, introduced on Friday. And I also want to thank Alderman Shane Cohn, who I will turn this over to in a minute, who has been a tireless advocate and working on this bill for many, many months so that we could get it across the finish line in a way that will reduce traffic fatalities and ensure that any revenue generated is going to also create reduced traffic accidents across this city.
Thank you, President Green, and thank you, Mayor Jones, for your remarks this morning, and thank you for being here at St. Mary's High School in the heart of the Dutchtown neighborhood in South St. Louis. As the mayor mentioned, several months ago, just a block north of here, we had an accident that had 2 fatalities and injured 3. And one accident is too many. I live just across the street. I had the good fortune of being able to walk here to the press conference this morning, and the day that accident occurred, I heard the accident. I was at the scene of the accident, talking with neighbors and talking with business owners and trying to understand what had happened. They literally witnessed a large SUV going over 70 miles per hour down Grand and using the middle turn lane to bypass other vehicles, clipping them on the way down and flipping several times and rolling almost 500 feet into other cars and onto the sidewalk. Luckily, there were no pedestrians on the sidewalk at that point in time. The injured and deceased were from the vehicle itself causing the infraction. These things are all too common in our neighborhoods, and there is only so many solutions that the city is able to employ. The mayor talked about the 6 E's of traffic safety, and certainly those are critical, but with capacity limitations that the city faces, it's important that we utilize as many resources at our disposal to be able to curtail the violations that happen throughout our communities and improve the safety of residents, pedestrians, cyclists, and others that use our streets and sidewalks every single day. I, for many of you that might be familiar, was very much opposed to red light cameras when I first got elected many years ago, partly because of the constitutionality of it, and was very happy when the Supreme Court struck down Missouri's law enabling the red light cameras. I am very happy to say that today, I have worked with the mayor's administration, the city councilor's office, and others to try and work within the confines of the Missouri Supreme Court case and the law that's on our books today to ensure that these are constitutional, that they do not violate due process, and that we also are introducing companion bills that address surveillance, security, data collection, and other components that are important and vital components to our civil liberties here in the city of St. Louis. I am happy that we also have companion bills that are adopting a neighborhood safety, traffic safety improvement fund that will fund programs, as the president mentioned, devoted towards driver's education, devoted towards improvement of infrastructure in our neighborhood streets that often see these types of incidents occur with very little physical infrastructure improvements to address the concerns of residents. So as the mayor and the president both mentioned, these funds will not go to our general revenue fund. These funds will go directly to benefit the neighbors, residents, citizens of the city, our neighborhoods, and improving traffic safety within our communities. And so I thank you all for being here today. And without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to President Michael England, president of St. Mary's High School. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, as Alderman Cohn said, my name is Mike England, but I'm the president, not of St. Mary's High School. I'm the president of the new St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School. Because as I think, you can clap for that, I'll take that. Because I think, as people know, the Archdiocese wanted to close our school last year. And we told them no. We told them no for two reasons. One, we are too important to the young men that we serve. And two, we are too important to this neighborhood. We are a highly accredited school. 100% of our young men graduate. 85% of our young men move on to college or trade school. But as far as the community goes, we truly understand that we have a role to play to provide support. We provide support through being the home of the St. Joseph Housing Initiative, whose offices are here at St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School. We purchase homes around St. Mary's. Normally they're vacant. We renovate them to the highest standard, new roof, new HVAC, new appliances, and we sell those homes to low and moderate income families that have never been able to be a homeowner before, allowing them to build up their own personal wealth and equity through being a homeowner. We also are the first and only high school in the state of Missouri to have a partnership with the Missouri trade unions. Through the Missouri Works Initiative, this year we are offering for the first time a pre-apprenticeship program in the trades. We have 13 juniors and seniors in the program. Upon graduation from St. Mary's, these young men, should they so choose, will have the opportunity to pick one of 15 trades that they are being exposed to in this program and immediately move into an apprenticeship, in most cases a paid apprenticeship. 1 year, 1 year and a half in that program, they will come out with a fantastic job with great pay and great benefits and no student debt. And we look forward to hopefully expanding this program to serve the entire community. Because here in Dutchtown, the highest number of young people under the age of 18 reside. And we are one of the most densely populated areas in the city of St. Louis. And so today I thank Mayor Jones, I thank President Green, I thank Alderman Shane Cohn, my friend, for providing added support to our community. A community full of wonderful people that only want good things for their families. We are happy to be here today to be a part of safety being provided for our residents of Dutchtown, who we care about deeply. Thank you.
All right, thanks everyone. We have time for about 3 questions, and then Mayor Jones got it headed and meet the government students. Wanted to ask you, Mayor, about the constitutionality constitutionality was challenged on these cameras, as Alderman Cohen mentioned. So how are these cameras going to address that? Are these cameras going to be taking pictures of drivers' faces to address and hold those drivers accountable? Because as you know, in St. Louis, we have a lot of stolen cars, missing tags, expired tags. So those might not be the owners of those cars creating those infractions. So how is this system going to adhere to the laws?
As I am aware, the City Council worked with my office and the Board of Aldermen to draft this legislation to address the constitutionality provisions that struck down the previous law. So we'll just have to see what the implementation looks like, and then you'll also be able to read it when a copy of the bill is filed today. Austin?
You've talked about how you guys are addressing equity through the assessments, and seeing the draft bill, some of the provisions on how they'll be located. But in other cities, we have seen fines disproportionately hit non-white drivers. And while the money will be spent to do good things, the fines have to be paid first. How can you be sure that's not going to hit people in an inequitable way?
Well, we can't initially, but we have to start somewhere. And right now we have a lot of people speeding and injuring people on our streets and doing reckless driving. So we have to use this as a tool, as one tool in our whole tool belt of addressing our traffic violations within our current law.
Mayor Jones, any update on your planned gun legislation?
So the bills, I believe, are being filed this week, and we'll see. Yes, Kelly.
Just clarify that you believe this will hold up in court. You've worked with attorneys to make sure that it's going to stick.
Yes, we've worked with the city attorney to address some of the issues that were in the previous bill that was struck down. I'm sorry.
Were there any other methods that you guys tried other than, the red light cameras to kind of reduce this problem? Were there any other options that you explored? What were they?
So our police department, as you know, has limited resources. They have used data to increase traffic enforcement and traffic stops around the city. And so far this year have done over 200,000 stops. And last one, I'm sorry.
How many cameras are we talking about? And for the neighborhood fund, how much money do you project would go into that in year one?
Yeah, those are questions we don't yet know the answers to, because we still have to identify a vendor and go through a whole study to realize where the camera should be placed. This is just the introduction of the legislation to allow red light cameras or automatic traffic enforcement cameras back to the city. Thank you.